Good day. Welcome to this episode of InConversation. I'm Ravindran Subramanian from the corporate communication team of HDFC Bank. We have with us our group head, Mr. Nirav Shah. Nirav again straddles two different portfolios. The first is of course the emerging corporates group, HDFC Bank's equivalent to the mid-markets group, and the other is rural banking. Welcome, Nirav.
My pleasure.
First things first, Nirav. How is the emerging corporate group different from corporate banking and the SME business of the bank?
I was part of the corporate bank till 2011. That was a time when MD offered me this particular job. He made a very pertinent observation and he said there is hardly any difference between emerging corporates and large corporates. The big difference is that the large corporates have gone through the learning curve, have learned the hard way, and today have become a very large company. Emerging companies still have to go through that particular learning curve and emerge. But the time emerging companies are going to take to reach where large corporates have reached is going to be in fewer years. And whether we at HDFC Bank, and me in particular, who has been part of the corporate bank, seen those journeys, can we act as catalyst to make them larger? Typically, the product offering is very similar between corporate bank and emerging corporates. The difference comes largely by turnover. Given that we work in a turnover range of 200 crores to 1000 crores, we work out of more geographies than what a corporate bank works. As far as business banking is concerned, they deal with smaller corporates and therefore their geographical coverage is even wider. In terms of the exposure and security, it is inversely related. So as you go from corporate banking to ECG to business banking, the quantum of exposure that the bank takes reduces. The security that you ask for increases. In terms of dealing, typically a business banking customer is a first generation entrepreneur. ECG customer would typically be a second generation or a third generation business. In both these businesses, you are largely dealing with the promoter and he is the key decision maker. But when it comes to corporate bank, you deal largely with professional CFOs.
So from what I understand, Nirav, is it would it be correct to say that if say the business banking piece is Bharat and the corporate banking piece is India, emerging corporates in a way is a kind of a bridge between the two?
Very true. So we have a mix of customers who are son of the soil, wherein we today, in the last 5 years, we have doubled our geographical presence. So today we are present in 47 cities, and if we look at the kind of growth that we've been having in some of the smaller geographies, is substantially higher than the growth we have in the larger developed markets. But for us, both the large urban centers and the new geographies are growing.
What are the challenges that are peculiar to this business?
I think even the challenges would more or less flow between CB to ECG to business banking. If I have to refer particularly to the challenges that are faced by the emerging corporates, I would say one, the risk in lending to emerging corporate sector is substantially higher. Their ability to withstand macroeconomic challenges is limited. Second challenge particular to these segments is they are somewhere between large corporates on both ends. So either they would be purchasing from a large corporate or selling to a large corporate. Given that they get squeezed between two large companies, their ability to bargain is lower and therefore margins are smaller than what you would typically experience with larger companies. With this, the fact that these companies have a higher leverage makes it a lot riskier. We deal with a combination of listed and unlisted companies. We have a lot of unlisted companies where availability of reliable public information is limited. So you need to be particularly careful when it comes to dealing with ECG segment customers.
The emerging corporates group has a very strong portfolio in terms of asset size as well as quality. What has got it here?
First of all, I would want to give credit to Team ECG for making it a success. At the time when I joined ECG in 2011, it has been a fantastic journey, and Team ECG has taken to the market the business proposition or the strong points of HDFC Bank. In fact, Greenwich rated us as the best bank in the mid-market space. They went on to rank HDFC Bank relationship managers in the ECG space as best amongst all the banks. What we have taken to the market are the benefits of geographical reach, distribution, products, processes, technology, a quick turnaround time, and very good service standards. We have been able to demonstrate value of getting associated with the bank, and that is something that has helped us. So on one side, we are increasing our penetration with existing set of customers, and at the same pace, we are acquiring new customers. The other factor is in terms of jointly working with various arms of the bank. We wouldn't have been as successful if it was not for the branch channel, which feeds us with good leads. It wouldn't be possible without operations that helps consummate transactions, credit team that underwrites good proposals, treasury that helps us structure FX solutions. In true sense, we are able to take power of one bank to the customer, and that has been probably the secret of our success.
Which means team spirit.
Absolutely.
And team spirit within the emerging corporates group, as well as team spirit in terms of working across functions and geographies. And that is what has helped you in a way, or to take the bank's vision forward of being the bridge between India and Bharat. Nirav, you yourself are a university in banking today. What is the one advice that you would like to give to youngsters who are entering the industry today?
See, I find youngsters these days a lot smarter than what we were at their age. One of the things is that there is no doubt in terms of doubting their abilities, but I find them a little restless. They are looking at instant gratification for everything. I would advise them that have a long-term goal. Don't be short-sighted. While you work for 30 days of the month, you get paid salary one of those days. So don't bother about how much you get on that one day. Look at what makes you happy for 30 days. And when you're working for an organization like HDFC Bank, which is a growing organization, you get to grow along with it. So do something that makes you happy and have a long-term goal in your career.
That's a fantastic piece of advice, Niraj. Coming back now again to slightly to the business side, how has the emerging corporate group used digitalization to offer its services?
I think a lot of our success we need to attribute to the technology backbone that the bank provides. Today we offer to the customer an online real-time platform across the country in terms of all branches on a single server. Whether it was eNet or whether it was Trade on Net, these were the differentiating factors where we get a disproportionate share of collections, payments and international trade. We leveraged upon the benefits that a customer can derive by using our technology platform. Going forward, say by way of API, to ensure that we stay ahead of the curve, we have some interesting products in terms of paperless imports, paperless exports that would come in. This would not only create customer convenience, reduce the cost at the bank's end in processing transactions, and create customer stickiness.
Niraj, again, any one insight that has shaped your career, that has helped you grow, or a word of advice?
Okay, one of the things that is registered very deep in me is that good and bad is like a circle. Good follows the bad and bad follows the good. If we look at multiple economic down cycles, HDFC Bank has consistently delivered a similar percentage growth, and that demonstrates that in good times we don't go overboard to regret when bad time comes in. Typically, commercial banking is like a marriage. A customer is disengaging with someone else and deciding to go with you. He has apprehensions in his mind. He would want to know whether you are a true bank or just a fair weather friend. And what we have been able to demonstrate that because we have not gone overboard in good times, in bad times also we have been able to support and grow at similar rates. I think this has been an advice which has been worth its weight in gold.
One word beyond business. How do you see the social side of the bank?
I think the society has given a lot to us, and the bank needs to reciprocate back. If I look at some of the initiatives of the bank, I can relate to a lot of them. One of the initiatives in terms of Parivartan and sustainable livelihood, we have changed the lives of so many people, wherein we've skilled them and then allowed them to work with their heads high up. If we look at in terms of the rural initiatives, given that I manage the rural initiative group of the bank, I can see in terms of how difficult it is for creating sustainable livelihood in the rural market. We work very closely on some of these initiatives to spread financial literacy into those markets and make customers their life sustainable. I have been a personal contributor every single year into the blood donation camp, and that is giving life and hope to so many people who need blood. Even in terms of initiatives on the hygiene side, in terms of the toilets that the bank is creating, it is creating a better society. And as HDFC Bank leads from the front across all business initiatives, I am sure we will continue to lead from the front when it comes to the social responsibilities.
When you hire a person, what is it that you look for, apart from the academic qualifications, of course?
So I am going to keep the educational qualifications out, and I would not look for a particular trait, but I would look at multiple traits and a combination of them before I hire someone. The first thing first, it has to be ability to quickly think on the feet. Very often we end up in a situation with the customer, tricky situations, and you need to quickly think on the feet and come out of that tricky situation. So I would say that is one virtue people should have. Second is integrity. Third is emotional intelligence. Fourth is in terms of enjoying a sales job. You go out, meet people, you need to enjoy that particular activity.
Process.
And sixth is, I would say, in terms of dealing with multiple people and work as a team.
Nirav, it has been wonderful having you with us, and we would like you to leave us with one last word.
I would like to end on a lighter note that भगवान तू सबका भला कर, शुरुआत HDFC बैंक के कस्टमर से कर, because उनकी भलाई में हमारी भलाई है.
That is well said, Nirav. And ending with Hindi, that is the icing on the cake. That tells us that both HDFC Bank and you personally have made good progress in the journey of linking India and Bharat. Thank you, Nirav.
Thank you.